Okay, it's just gone midday Chicago time, and just give you a quick recap of where we've been today. This is 1500 tip bar chart, and this is pre the open. We had jobless claims numbers kind of come out. Initially there was a little bit of volatility, it kind of went quiet, and then took off big time to the upside, went up to 1164. You can see all these professional blue bars kind of going up in that high, final profit taking at the top, flush signal on better momentum, and then we kind of sold off after the open really hard. For me, didn't find any good kind of entries to get in. I'm always looking for the first professional bar on a 1500 tip bar chart, and the first one that we saw was when this kind of decline kind of came to a close at about 53. But never going to enter a strong downtrend with a reversal trade that kind of early in the piece. So the first trade I took here was short trade at 55.50. Knew that there was going to be support coming in at 53, so just got out at 53.50 for 2 points here. And then just shortly after that, saw the professionals kind of come back in again. A couple of blue professional down bars here, bullish divergence. We've got an end of trend warning signal here, and we had a little bit of a run to the upside back up to about 58. So kind of went long here at 53. And when professional blue bars and some exhaustion buying on the 500 tip bar chart, kind of just got out early here at 55.50 for another 2.5 points. So yeah, for me that was 4.5 points in the first 40 minutes of trade, so I was kind of happy with that. But what I just want to show you just on the rest of this chart is how you can use amateur bars as good kind of entry points, retracement entry points on kind of strong trending days. You can see the downtrend did continue because we got all these professional blue bars selling into this cyclical turning point here at about just under 58. Final professional blue bar up here with a divergent signal. Here's one of these divergent signals real close to the zero line, which I really like. Shows there's real kind of balance there in terms of buyers and sellers, and then it kind of goes off into another kind of trend move on the downside. So that was a good kind of re-entry point here after exhaustion buying for the downside. But here's the kind of trick to re-enter on strong downtrends here, is to look for these retracements being led by the amateurs. So here's a little retracement here. Amateur yellow up bar coming into that retracement. You have to be pretty quick to get on board these, but breaks of the low of those amateur bars are good kind of places to go in. We don't see any kind of amateur up bars until later on in the piece, about here. So again, here's this little cluster at 56 of amateur up bars here. The break of that little cluster there is excellent little retracement point here. And then the downtrend kind of continued. When I'll show you the higher time frame charts, you can see those why the downtrend was continuing. This little retracement up here was kind of being led by the amateurs up here. Yellow kind of bar towards the top there, bearish divergence, and the market kind of sold off. But now we're kind of midday, we've kind of dropped into the 47, 48 kind of range, and all of a sudden we've got a lot of professional activity kind of coming into these new lows. So you can see when those new lows were broken here, a lot of the amateurs in the market will be thinking this thing's kind of going south, south, south. So no, all the professionals kind of starting to step back in. We did get exhaustion selling on the downside, and so I'd expect some kind of pause in the market at least at this point. Who knows with this? I doubt it'll be a reversal day today, but in terms of continuation of the downtrend, just be wary that you've got all these kind of professional blue bars kind of coming in. Now let me just show you a couple of other charts. So first of all, time frames. 135 minute time frame chart on better sine wave has now signaled an end of trend warning signal up here after yesterday's activity. I thought this wasn't a very kind of clean pullback level, but it actually printed an end of trend warning signal. Sometimes when these kind of you end up with messy kind of breaks of this pullback level, you don't always get a clean end of trend warning signal, but the code actually generated one, so that's fantastic. I love it when the code kind of comes in good like that and shows that there is actually a likelihood of profit taking at these highs, and no wonder we had a bit of a sell-off. Now what I'm very curious about, this is a lower time frame. The corresponding high time frame, the next time frame up for a 135 is 3 times that is daily, 3 times that or near enough is a weekly chart, and this is what we got on the weekly chart. We've got a cyclical cross on the weekly chart, so we've got a cyclical top being formed at the same time as an end of trend on the lower time frame. Now I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of volatility and up and down over the next week or two, but is this a really significant top in terms of turning points, and is this weekly cross going to finally kind of form, and we'll get some kind of end of trend warning signal here on the weekly time frame. So this is for me very important, but that doesn't particularly help me in my day trading. Next chart to show you is the better X trend. Although we've had a real kind of surge from the 1160 level today, we've still not got an exhaustion kind of up bar in order to trail this bar up. We won't get one today based on the activity that we've seen kind of so far. So based on this time frame, the uptrend is still in place. We've still not seen that real surge of exhaustion buying that kind of marks a top. And then let me just show you some of the highest time frame charts. So the 40,500 tip bar chart here, highest time frame chart. This was the strong rally that we had Tuesday, and kind of ended up with blow-off buying activity, exhaustion buying activity here, kind of playing around that cyclical turning point. Finally, with this push through, actually this morning was a flush signal, kind of flushing out the buyers, who thought this thing was going to keep on going to the moon, and we kind of sold off hard. Drop it down, time frame, the 13,500 tip bar chart. You can see again that kind of activity pre-open with that jobless claims number was just the perfect opportunity to put in a cyclical turning point here after we had a pullback and an uptrend signal here. Bearish divergence. We've had our exhaustion buying that took us into those highs. Rambo pattern up here. Professionals kind of coming in, and then finally it kind of sells off. But on the 13,500, we've got exhaustion selling on the downside, professionals starting to get back interested at the 1150 level. And then just dropping down to the 4,500 for trend here. I suppose in retrospect a lot of these things become clear, but after the exhaustion buying that we had at the end of Wednesday, and the bearish divergence here, that was the indicator, kind of set the tone for the downtrend. These signals, I'm waiting for some kind of blow-off activity or kind of divergence activity before the downtrend kind of starts in the other direction. So really that kind of combination was the signal that this was likely to be the start of a downtrend. And now we've got exhaustion selling on the 4,500 tip bar chart at midday here. We're going to be putting in some kind of divergence pattern or something like that on the 4,500 tip bar chart, and we'll get kind of an upswing develop at some point soon. So anyway, so I hope your trading is going well, and a little shorter video today with the real-time trades just after this. So if you're interested in the gory detail, please continue to listen to the video. Okay, we just got short 1155.50. Just checking everything's in order. We know there's support at 1153, so I'm just putting a 2-point target on this, hoping to get out at 53.50. We had the jobless claims numbers come out pre-market, caused a pretty stirring rally. It was interesting. It was very quiet just after the announcement, but then it kind of everything kind of took off. You can see on the 1500 tip bar chart. Coming into the open, we had all of these professional bars. We had an exhaust, a flush signal, and then the market just sold off really hard from the beginning. I'd have loved to have got on board this move, but I didn't see. There was a little bit of a retracement move here where we had a cyclical turn on 500. That was a good entry point at about 57 here, but I was looking for a professional blue bar. So the first professional bar that kind of came in was at 53 here. You can see we've got bullish divergence and so on. We're still in a downtrend kind of at this time, but we're going to find a bottom kind of soon. What I'm hoping is we get a cyclical turn on the 1500 tip bar chart, kind of coincides with some kind of flush signal or exhaustion selling on the downside. It'll be around 11, kind of the 53 level, or just below, just above, something like that. And that might give us a setup for a long trade. But yeah, I'm just because this move's been so strong to the downside, just hoping that we can pick up 2 points kind of at the end of this and just see where it goes from here. Okay, so there we go. We're out at 53.50 for 2 points, and you can see the professionals have kind of come back in. At this point here, another professional blue bar on 1500 tip bar chart, bullish divergence and so on. So we could still could easily kind of spark a rally from here once we get a cyclical cross. We're just kind of playing around with these lows. We might break to new lows, cause a run on stops or something like that. But the E-mini tends